I didn't want to believe something had followed me. I kept telling myself the episodes were just stress, just exhaustion. The same thing everyone says when they're trying to ignore something they don't understand. But what happened in that new apartment proved one thing: some shadows don't stay behind. They move with you. I moved into the apartment on a quiet evening in early September. The building was old, too old, built before anyone kept proper records. The walls were thick, the hallways narrow, and the elevators groaned like someone was standing on the roof holding the cables. But the rent was cheap and the place was closer to my new job, so I convinced myself it was a good decision. The first night everything felt normal. Or at least, I tried to pretend it did. The second night reminded me why I shouldn't pretend. I fell asleep on the mattress on the floor, still surrounded by unopened boxes. The apartment was silent, no traffic, no neighbors, not even the hum of the refrigerator I hadn't plugged in yet. For a moment that silence felt comforting, then it became suffocating. At around 3:12 a.m., I jolted awake. My eyes shot open, but my body refused to move. It wasn't the first time I'd had sleep paralysis, but something about that moment felt different. The air felt colder, like someone had opened a window. But I heard nothing, no wind, no footsteps. Nothing. Then I saw it. In the corner of the room, between two stacks of boxes, stood a tall, thin silhouette. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. It just stood there like a shadow peeled off the wall. Its head was slightly tilted, like it was studying me, but the worst part wasn't the figure. It was the feeling that it knew me. Like it had been waiting. The paralysis held me in place. I tried to scream, but my throat felt locked. My heartbeat hammered so hard I thought it might burst through my chest. The figure shifted just slightly enough for me to see the faint outline of its shoulders and the suggestion of hollow eyes. Then it stepped forward, not with footsteps, not with weight. It moved like smoke. Like its body wasn't fully part of this world. The moment its silhouette drifted closer, my vision blurred and everything went black. I woke up hours later with sunlight pouring through the window. My muscles ached like I'd been tensed all night. I tried to convince myself it was a dream, just another episode. But something was wrong with the apartment. The boxes were moved, not opened. Just rearranged, like someone had walked around them in the dark. The stack where the figure had stood was now shifted a few inches to the left. And the cold feeling, I couldn't shake it. The air in that corner stayed freezing even as the rest of the apartment warmed. For the next few days, things escalated. I'd catch glimpses of movement in the hallway, always behind me. Shadows would slide under the door when no one was outside. The temperature in my bedroom dropped every night at the exact same time. The worst part? The sleep paralysis episodes returned, but they felt different, more intentional. One night I woke up to the sound of breathing. Not mine, slow, steady, and impossibly close. My body wouldn't move. My chest tightened. And when my eyes finally focused, the shadow was standing over me. Not touching. Just leaning. Its face inches above mine. It had no features, no expression, but I could feel the weight of its stare. Then it whispered, not a word, just a low, vibrating sound, like it was trying to speak but didn't know how. The noise crawled down my spine, cold and sharp. And then, like before, darkness. During the day, I tried to live normally. I went to work. I pretended nothing was wrong. But every time I returned to the apartment, I felt like I was stepping into someone else's territory. The shadow didn't just appear at night. It started appearing in reflections, the TV screen, the microwave door, even the window at sunset. Each time it was closer than before. I decided to set up my phone to record while I slept. I let it run overnight, pointing toward the foot of my bed. When I checked the footage the next morning, the first hour was normal. Then something changed. At 3:11 a.m., the frame flickered. At 3:12 a.m., the room went dark as if something passed directly in front of the camera. At 3:13 a.m., the phone recorded a silhouette standing right next to me. It wasn't clear. It wasn't detailed. But the shape, tall, thin, crooked at the neck, was unmistakable. And then, the figure leaned toward the camera. The screen distorted. The audio cracked. And a faint whisper bled through the speaker. You didn't leave. My blood ran cold. The demon. Entity. Whatever it was had followed me from the old place. And the more I ignored it, the stronger it became. Everything escalated after that night. Lights flickered. Doors rattled. The cold spots grew larger. Sometimes I'd wake with marks on my skin, not scratches. Nothing violent, just the pressure imprint of fingers on my arm or shoulder. Like someone had held me down while I slept. One night, the shadow stood in the hallway and did something it had never done before. It reached out, a long, distorted arm stretched across the floor toward my feet. I couldn't move. I couldn't blink. And when its hand wrapped around my ankle, the entire room shook like the building itself was warning me. The paralysis broke at the last second. I jerked awake, gasping, stumbling out of bed. The shadow dissolved instantly, like it had never been there at all, but something had changed. It wasn't content with watching anymore. It wanted contact. The final night was the worst. I was lying on my side, exhausted from days of no proper sleep. I shut my eyes, praying for just a few hours of peace. But the apartment disagreed. The lights went out. The air froze. And the whispering started, soft, rhythmic, coming from the closet. I opened my eyes. The closet door was wide open. A silhouette crouched inside, head tilted low. Its body folded like it didn't belong to human anatomy. Then it stepped out, slowly, deliberately. My body locked instantly, paralysis slamming into me without warning. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. All I could do was watch as it slid closer. It stopped at the edge of the bed, then it lowered itself until its face hovered inches from mine. For the first time, I saw something behind the hollow eyes, shapes, faces, like it was made of memories. Or people. Or both. It raised one hand and pressed a cold finger against my forehead. My vision exploded with images, nightmares. Fractures of places I had never been, voices I didn't recognize. Moments of terror that weren't mine, and then it whispered again. Clear this time, you brought me here. The lights flashed. The walls bent inward. The air ripped out of the room, and when everything went black, I thought that was the end, but it wasn't. I woke up outside the building, lying on the pavement, freezing and shaking. My apartment door was wide open on the third floor. No one heard anything. No one saw anything. I didn't go back inside. I left everything I owned. I didn't take clothes. I didn't take furniture. I didn't even take my phone. I moved far away to a different city, different job. Everything new. For weeks, nothing happened until 2 nights ago, while I was recording audio for something else. I heard a faint sound in the background, barely noticeable unless you listened closely, a whisper, the exact same whisper from the apartment you didn't leave.